was a lady who had no blood relatives other than her son, and she cherished him and loved him the way any mother would, but especially because he was her only relative, she did even more, right? And so she carried him with difficulty, and she raised him with difficulty. She didn't remarry, so she just kind of did her own thing. And when it came time for him to go to school, he wanted to go abroad, right, for college. So this was back in the day before like FaceTime and anything like that. It was a very difficult decision, but she put together the money somehow, and she sent him out to college. 6 years later, the young man comes back wearing, strapping English clothes, looking good, and mom wants to get him married, right? And so she finds a nice girl from a nice family. She says, I really like this person for you. He said, no, I want to pick someone on my own. In the meanwhile, he built his career. He sold the old house and bought a new house that was a lot bigger. And he decided to marry a wealthy girl from a merchant family. This girl was haughty, and she was arrogant. So she wasn't very good to his mother. But the mother, she didn't want to inconvenience her son. So whenever he would ask, she said, no, your wife is very good. She's very nice. She never caused me any harm. And but slowly, because the wife didn't like the mother, she slowly killed the love that was between them by complaining and by saying bad things and by filling his ear. One day the son came home. They were going to have guests, and he saw his mother cleaning, and he said, why don't you change out into something nice that befits our status, me and my wife, and you don't embarrass us. At that point, the mom was like, enough is enough. She packed a bag and she left, and they hardly noticed. She hopped from house to house, and their life went on. Until one day, the husband became very sick, and the doctors really couldn't do anything about it. And the wife, not being the caring type, eventually got fed up with him. She said, first I suffered under your mother, now I gotta suffer under you, and she divorced him in that miserable state of his. And at this point, he remembered his mother, who tried to visit him in the hospital, but was refused by the wife and her family multiple times. And he couldn't find his mom anywhere until he went to a masjid, and he found a lady outside the masjid begging with a bowl for change. And he fell to her feet, and he said, cursed be my bungalow, cursed be my wife, cursed be all the things that distracted me from you. I'm so sorry, my mother. And as a mother would say, she said, it's my son, I've never felt any harm from you, it's okay.